Hello everyone, welcome you all to the investment management class. We are doing unit 2 risk and return problems. In my previous video you all have seen the risk and return problems which related to portfolio. In the same set of portfolio, if there are any changes or in the information given, how you need to calculate the risk and return, that we'll be seeing today. Okay, to start with the first problem, let's take the problem June-July 2016 question paper. Okay, June-July 2016 question paper, section B, 14 scheme. I'll write here June-July 2016 question paper, 14 scheme, that is 14 scheme, section B, question number 6. Section B, question number 6. So this is the information given. So I'll just read out the problem for you all. The following information is available, that is they have given expected return of stock A and stock B and standard deviation of stock A and stock B. Then coefficient correlation they have only given, no need of calculating, that is 0.60. What is the covariance between stock A and B? What is the expected return and risk of the portfolio in which A and B have weights of 0.6 and 0.4? So this is the problem which they have given. So we'll start solving. First they have asked the question covariance, that is COVXY. Okay. Normally what we used to do when we know the covariance earlier, we used to calculate x minus x bar, y minus y bar. This is what we were doing. If in case we were calculating for individual series, this was the formula. If we are calculating for the discrete series, then we were multiplying with p and adding on. Okay, so we need x bar, y bar. But as in the problem you can see, they have given only the expected return, which means x bar, and they have given standard deviation. So we don't have the x because the information is not given for more number of period. So we don't know what is x. So in this case, we cannot use this formula. Okay, that when they directly give the return, expected return, that is x bar, we cannot use this formula for calculating covariance. Hence, we can use the formula for calculating covariance by using another method where covariance appears. Okay, for example, we will be using our formula where covariance is available and standard deviation x and standard deviation of y. In this case, we have all the information. Okay, when we have all the information, what you need to do, except covariance xy. We don't have that information. So except that we have all the information given in the problem. Now in the problem they say that correlation coefficient is 0.6. They have said that correlation coefficient is 0.6 and they have given stock A's standard deviation and stock B standard deviation as expected return as 16 and 12. This is 15 and 8. So this is stock A and this is stock B. So this is the given information. When you have this given information, with this given information, what you can do is covariance you can find out. We have the standard deviation of x, which is 15, and we have standard deviation of y, which is 8. So what we need to do, 0.6 is equal to covariance xy divided by 15 into 8. 15 into 8 is 120, I guess. 15 into 8. Yeah, it's 120. Do the cross multiplication. Okay. So 0.6 into 120 is equal to covariance xy. Okay. So 0.6 of 120 is 72. So by having 3 information given, we can find out the missing information. So here missing information was covariance. That was the first question also. So the covariance which we have got is 72. Okay. So I'll write here 72. Okay. So we have got the first answer. Probably you might have understood. It is simple. The second question they have asked is, calculate what is the expected return and risk if the portfolio which A and B, the weights are given as 0.6 and 0.4. So they have given weights. Weight for A is 0.6 and weight for B is given as 0.4. They have calculated, they have asked return as well as risk. So let's start with the return of portfolio. Okay. So return of portfolio, we know the formula, weight X, standard deviation, mean X plus weight Y and Y bar. Okay. So what are the weights given? 0.6 into X bar is 16 plus 0.4 into Y bar is, that is here it is A and B, okay, 12. I tell what, you can change this as A and B and this becomes A bar and B bar. So however you want you can change, but the meaning should be the same, that's it. Okay. So coming to the calculation part, 16 into 0.6 you have 9.6 plus 12 into 0.4 you get 4.8, and again we are going to add these two, 4.8 plus 9.6, you get 14.4. 14.4. Okay, this is related to the portfolio return. Okay, next we are going to calculate portfolio risk. So as it is a big formula, we just rub this. Even this is finished, we'll write the answer here. Okay. So first question they have asked covariance XY, that is 72 we have got. Second question they have asked portfolio return, and portfolio return we have got 14.4, and now we are calculating risk of a portfolio. Okay, risk of a portfolio, we know the formula well. Risk of a portfolio, you remember this, the big formula, weight A square, standard deviation A square, weight B square, standard deviation B square, plus 2 into R into weight A into weight B into standard deviation A into standard deviation B. So this is the formula. You can by heart it. It's quite easy. Okay. So continuing this, let's see how much is weight A. They have said weight A is 0.6 square and standard deviation they have said it is 15 square plus weight B is 0.4 square into standard deviation they have said it is 8 square plus 2 into R is 0.6 given in the problem itself into 0.6 weight of A into weight of B into standard deviation of A into standard deviation of B. Okay, that is how you substitute, and then simplification. So let's start simplifying it. 0.6 into 0.6, it is 0.36 into 15 into 15, it is 225. 15 into 15, it is 225 plus 0.4 into 0.4, it is 0.16 into 8 8s are 64 plus here 2 into 0.6 into 0.6 into 0.4 into 15 into 8. Yeah, you get 34.56. You get this. And again further simplifying, 0.36 into 225. You get 81 plus 64 into 0.16. You get 10.24. Yeah, plus 34.56. You take a root of this. First you need to add all this, plus 34.56 plus 81. You get 125.8 root. You have to take the root of 125.8. So root of the answer you get 11.2. 2 you can take, or 2161. If you want 2 digits, you can stop at 2 digits, or if you want to continue further, you can put 4 digits. Okay, this is the answer for the standard deviation of P, that is 11.2161. Okay, hope so it is clear. Okay, like this, the same problem without any numerical changes. It is asked in December 2015, Jan 2016, 14 scheme, same section B, 7 marks problem, 6th problem. Okay, the same thing they have asked. And for your homework, one homework I'll give you. Whenever you take the photocopy of the question paper, the same type of question, it is there in December 2006, Jan 2007, MBA 3F2 scheme 4B. Okay, you can find in this, and this you have to solve. Okay, it is the same method. Okay, let's go to another problem. Another problem is, this is also similar to this, but there is a slight change in this which is made. So I want to tell you all how, if in case weights is not given, how you need to calculate. So most of the times they give the weights. So next problem which we'll be doing is December 2011 8 scheme, December 2011 8 scheme 5B. Okay, this problem we are going to solve now. Okay, so for that I need this. I'll just erase this. I'll not write the formula again. So I'll erase what is not required. Okay. So in this information we'll see what is given and what is not given. Accordingly we'll do it. Okay, and I have to erase this. So I'll write the question paper. December 2011, 08 scheme. Okay, 08 scheme, and question is 5B. Question is 5B. Question is 5B. I'll read out the problem for you. An investor invests rupees 30,000 in stock X and 10,000 in stock Y. The return associated with X and Y is 16% and 12%. So return they have given 16% and 12%. The standard deviation of the stocks are given 5 and 4. 5 and 4. And if the investor can tolerate a risk of 5% measured as standard deviation, then should he invest in the above portfolio? So measure of tolerance of risk is, they have said 5%. Tolerance of risk is 5%. And they have said that the correlation coefficient is 0.5. Okay, so correlation coefficient I'll write here 0.5. And they've said investor invests 30,000 and 10,000 in each stock. So here let's see, they have not given the weights. So how do you calculate the weights? And they have asked, sure, what is the total risk in order to make a comparison of the tolerance. Okay. So here we have to calculate the weight first. Okay. To calculate the weight first, they have asked to calculate only risk. So let's begin with the calculation of weight. At the end, I'll do the calculation of weight. They have said 30,000 for stock A, X, and 10,000 for stock Y. So how do you calculate? Just see here. Okay. 30,000 for stock X and 10,000 for stock Y. Whenever you calculate the weights, you have to add the total sum which is given. For example, in this problem, 30,000 plus 10,000 it is given. So the total amount you get is 40,000. 40,000 is the proportion. Now, out of this 40,000, 30,000 is for X and 10,000 is for Y. Okay, and the method easily doing is 30,000 divided by 40,000, 10,000 divided by 40,000, that is the common base, and 30 and 10 is the proportion what they get. So 30,000 you get 0.75 and 0.25, nothing but 75% and 25%. So that is the weights. This is how you have to calculate. When weights is not given and investment of both the companies is given, add those investment. After adding those investment, just divide it with the proportion. You get the weights. Now substitute that to the formula. I'll write here weight of X is 0.75 square and standard deviation is 5 square plus 0.25 square and standard deviation is 4 square plus 2 into 0. R is I've written here 0.5 into 0.75 into 0.25 into 5 into 4. Okay, this is the substitution which I have made. With this substitution, let's start calculating. So 0.75 into 0.75, you get 0.5625. 5 into 5 is 25. So this is one set. Okay, plus we have 0.25 into 0.25. We get 0.0625 into 4 4s are 8. We'll write here plus we'll add on all 2 into 0.5 into 0.75 into 0.25 into 5 into 4. Okay, we get 3.75. Okay, now again the multiplication starts. 0.5625 into 25. You get 14.0625 plus the next set will take 0.0625 into 8. 0.5, okay, plus 3.75. We need to add all those stuff. 14.0625 plus 0.5 plus 3.75. You get 18.31. I'll write here 18.3125. For this we need to do the root. Don't forget to do the root. Root of the answer, you get 4.27. You can say 2.28. You can. Okay, so the answer you have getting is 4.28. Okay, so here you can understand, see, point variations will always be there depending on the calculation, because some will take 4 digits, some will take 2 digits. Depending on that, this calculation also changes. But if you get 4 point in the range of 20, 30, 40, that is fine, no problem. So don't think so you have to get the accurate answer. It's difficult to get the accurate answer because of the changes which is there, because of the decimals which you take. But nearby answer, it is fine. Okay, this is related to this problem. Hope so you have understood this. Same, weights is not given, so you have to take the investment, and on the investment you have to add both the investment and calculate each one's weightage. Okay, so this completes this problem, and then we'll go to the next problem. Yeah, sorry, before we go to the next problem, we have to give a conclusion. Okay, while giving a conclusion, see, in the problem they are given toleration of risk is 5%, but the calculated portfolio risk is 4.28. So your 4.28 is less than 5%. So this means the investor can invest in this portfolio, because whatever risk he wanted to assume of 5%, the calculated risk is less than 5%. That's the reason he can invest in this portfolio. That is how you have to give conclusion if any question is asked. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Next problem. Next problem will be doing of where weights is not given. Okay, when weights are not given, what you need to do? So let's take a question paper which is July 2016 paper. We'll take, okay, we'll do a basic problem first, and then we'll go, that is, we'll take nearby here only, December 2011 paper will take. Same, and 10 scheme, the scheme is different from the previous. So December 2011 10 scheme, question is 6B. Okay, here you can see December 2011 10 scheme, question is 6B. I'll read out the problem for you. Stocks A and B have the following parameters. They have given expected return of stock A is, they have given A and B expected return. They have given 15 and 17. Next, they have given standard deviation. Standard deviation is 30 and 25. And they have given correlation coefficient, that is between them, is 0.5. So determine minimum risk portfolio. Okay, determine minimum risk portfolio. So here you have to calculate the risk portfolio. Okay, risk portfolio we have to calculate. To calculate the risk portfolio, see, we need R, we need standard deviation, but we need weights. Whereas weight A and weight B both are not given. Okay, when weight A and weight B both are not given, the investment is also not given. In the earlier problem which we did, they had given the investment, that is 30,000 in A and 10,000 in B. That is X and Y. Okay, but in this problem, they have not even given the investment, neither they have given the weights. So weights should be calculated using the formula. To calculate the weight formula, we have to put, first we'll calculate weight X formula, that is, we'll calculate the weight of X, then we'll go to Y. So weight X, standard deviation weight Y, opposite, okay, standard deviation Y square minus covariance XY divided by standard deviation X square plus standard deviation Y square minus 2 covariance xy. I'll read out the formula for you all once. Standard deviation y square minus covariance of xy whole divided by standard deviation x square plus standard deviation y square minus 2 covariance xy. Okay, so this is the formula. Now you might be thinking, where is covariance? So covariance is not given. So covariance have to be found out using the previous formula of, I'll do a division like this, I'll do it here. R is equal to covariance xy divided by standard deviation x and standard deviation y. Using this formula, you have to find out covariance. Or there is the same, I'll show you two formulas with both are easy, but even then, okay, this is substitution. 0.5 is equal to covariance xy standard deviation 30 into 25. So 0.5 into covariance xy 30 into 25 you get is 750. Okay, 0.5 into 750 is equal to covariance xy. So your answer is 750 half is 375. That is the answer for covariance. You can use one more formula is there for this. I'll just write the formula for you all and show you the comparison. Both the ways you can get. This is quite lengthy. Okay. So covariance xy is equal to, there is one more formula which is covariance R into standard deviation x into standard deviation y. Okay. Now how much is R given? 0.5 into standard deviation of a, that is both the values, that is a and b or x and y, it is 30 into 25. So let's multiply all three. 0.5 into 30 into 25, you get 375. So you can see and compare the answers here. Both we have got same answer. So either you can use this formula or either you can use the below formula. Anyone, it is your choice. Okay. For this we are going to substitute the values. Standard deviation y is how much? Standard deviation of y is 25. So I'll write here 25 square minus covariance, just now we have calculated 375 whole divided by standard deviation of x is 30 square plus 25 square minus 2 into 375. Okay, this is the substitution which I have made. Now we'll multiply 25 into 25 to 625. Okay, then minus 375 whole divided by 30 into 30 is 900. 3 3 is a 9. So 900 plus 25 we have already calculated 625 minus 2 into 375. Just now we have just divided it into that. So 750. Okay. Again we'll continue this. 625 minus 375 you get 250. Okay, 900 plus 625. If we have to do partially also you can do, or else we can do it together. Plus 625 you get, as it is the first problem, I'll show in detail. 1525 minus 750. You get 775. So you have understood this, I guess. So I'll erase it because I don't have space to continue the problem. Okay. So we have got the, so here weight x is equal to 250 divided by 775. Okay. 775. So 250 divided by 775 is, you get 0.3225. Okay. So I get 0.3225 or 32.25%. This is the weight of x. 32 point. Here it is A and B, no? I've changed everything. Okay. So A and B, 32.25%. And next is weight Y. Weight Y is easy. 100. Total percentages is for 100, right? So you have to consider 100 minus 32.25. Okay, so you get as 100 minus 32.25, you get 67.75%. Okay, so your weight is 67.75%. These are the two new weights. Okay, so weights we have got. That was confusing, so I changed. Okay, so now what they have asked us to calculate standard deviation P. Okay, moving ahead, we'll erase all this, we'll rub all this. This is not required now because I have already shown the calculation. Let's move on with the problem now. Standard deviation P, that is this formula. I'll write the formula for all. Weight A square, standard deviation A square plus weight B square, standard deviation B square plus 2 into R into weight A into weight B into standard deviation A into standard deviation B. This is the formula. Okay, so let's do the substitution. Weight 0.3225. Don't get confused. Earlier, if it is 60-40, then we used to convert into one as 0.6 and 0.4. The same thing, 32.25 means divided by 100, you get 0.3225 and 0.6775. That's it. Okay. So, square standard deviation is 30 square plus 0.6775 square into 25 square plus 2 into 0.5 into 0.3225 into 0.6775 into 30 into 25. So this is the substitution. And with this substitution, we have to do the calculation. 0.3225 into 0.3225, you get is 0.104. Okay, then 30 into 30 you get is 900. You can meanwhile leave space and do it for down, but it's okay. Okay, we'll just continue. So, plus 0.6 into 0.6775 into 0.6775, you get 0.459. 0.459 into 25 into 25, we get is 625. Okay, plus 2 into 0.5 into 0.3225 into 0.6775 into 30 into 25. So you get 163.87. Okay, so you get 163.87. Let's cross verify once because this is quite complicated. 2 into 0.5 into 0.3225. 3225 into 0.6775 into 30 into 25. Yeah, 163.87. Right. So this is what we have got, and further we are going to again simplify it into 0.104 into 900. You get 93.6 plus 0.459 into 625. You get 286.875 plus, it is already done, 163.87. Now we need to add all these plus 163.87 plus 93.6. Total you get 544.345. So I'll write here 544.345. So we have to do the root of this. Root of the answer, you get 23.33%. You get 23.33%. Is this clear? Have any doubts in this? Understood? Okay. Similar kind of problem I'll give you to do as a homework. Okay. So here you have June, July 2016. June, July 2016 paper. 12 scheme. Question number 6B. Okay, that is the question number. For your benefit, what I'll do is I'll write the numbers here. You have to do the calculation and find out the answer. Okay. So they said, I'll read out the problem. Two assets A and B have the following risk and return characteristics. Return of A is 22. Return of B is 20. Standard deviation of A is 15 and standard deviation of B is 18, and correlation coefficient, that is correlation coefficient, which is -1. Be very careful with the symbol -1. You have to find out the standard deviation P. Okay, and weights also. To find out the standard, this is not there. To find out the standard deviation P, you need the weights. Okay, the question paper which I dictated the problem, June, July 2016. It is 12 scheme. It is problem number 6B. Okay, that is the question where return is given, standard deviation is given, and R is also given, that is correlation coefficient, but be very careful, it is -1 not +1. Wherever you use minus. Okay, and then standard deviation, then weights, or you have to calculate weight of A and weight of B. This has to be calculated. Try this out. Answers, okay, I'll give you the answers. Okay, you just try out with the question, or else you just try it. In the next video, I'll give you the answer of this, so that you, if you have tried, you can make a comparison. If I tell in this video, then you will say you have got the same answer. Okay, so this is of today's class. In next class, we will be solving the 3 securities problem. Yeah, thank you.